This is news from Boulundala Radio and Television Services online. My name is Suleiman Baji. I am going to bring you the headlines. IEC awaits budget approval from government to commence voter registration. Minister Ba lays foundation stone for DK Jawara's resorts in Bara. Marisol to run for presidential election. Rawadatul Majlis calls for equal justice as member arrested for insulting remarks. Brikama Berewuleng and Busumbala Sajonding rehabilitates feeder roads ahead of rains. The death of George Floyd by the American Law Enforcement Agency has caused demonstrations among the major cities in the United States of America. These and other stories in this edition of Radio and Television Boulundala. I now bring you the news in detail. The Independent Electoral Commission says it is waiting for government's approval of its new budget to kickstart voter registration ahead of referendum for the new constitution and subsequent elections. Joseph Colley, the IEC communications officer, speaking in the interview, said they had earlier planned to commence registration on the 28th of May 2020. After training all their staff, with the exception of their directors and commissioners, who were supposed to start training before the declaration of the state of the emergency. We presented our plan budget to the government to continue the process in the pandemic. We trained all our staff before the state of the public emergency after having someone from Niger. We were supposed to train the directors and the commissioners 2 weeks before the announcement of the state of the public emergency declaration, which made us to postpone everything, Colley said. We cannot afford not to conduct the registration because election is time bound. We now have a strategy to see ways and means of conducting registrations. We need the procurement of equipment for the prevention of the COVID-19 so that we can conduct the exercise for the referendum and subsequent elections, IEC communication officer said. They have to work in the pandemic, Mr. Colley said. They need to get new materials such as personal protective equipment for their staff and hand washing materials for people in order to observe WHO and the Ministry of Health COVID-19 rules. The Minister of Tourism and Culture Thursday laid the foundation stone of a new four-star hotel called DK Jawara Resort in Bara, North Bank region. The initiative is designed to fulfill the framework agreement between the Gambia government and tourism, Gambia government, which is the Tourism Board, and the National Center of Arts and Culture. The construction of the hotel is born out of the partnership agreement between the Gambia Tourism Board and the National Arts and Culture to promote domestic and heritage tourism in the Gambia. Speaking prior to the laying of the foundation stone of the resort, Honorable Ahmad N.K. Ba expressed his delight to lay the foundation stone of the project which had been earlier conceived and has now become a reality. He therefore appealed to the contractor to contract people of the community and the region for the job to enable them benefit from the project. Mr. Mendy, Managing Director of the Leia Group, Alcalo of Bara, Chief of Lower Nyomi, and all of them made remarks while Chairman of NCAC, GT Board Councils, DPS, Directors, and other officials of the MOTC, GT boards, imams, VDC chairman, among others, witnessed the ceremony. The DK Jawara Resort project is situated at Barra Point close to the Fort Bullen. It is 40 rooms, 4-star hotel. The resort's facility includes standard studio and suite, kitchens, bar and restaurant, lounge, reception area, and parking, swimming pool, and administrative areas, offices. With just over 18 months to go before 2021 presidential election, Mary Sok just appeared as an entrepreneur who has declared her intentions to run for presidential elections. Addressing a press conference on Saturday, Sok said she aspires to run as an independent candidate to steer the wheels of the country. Mary Sok is the second female presidential aspirant since 2016 when Dr. Aissatou Toure, now Vice President, declared her candidature. On the 28th, 2020, Rawadatul Majlis, a Muslim group, is demanding display of equal justice as one of their members groups get arrested and released on police bail for allegedly directing insulting remarks at Imam Fati. The incident happened last week, Jara Sutuko, and it was confirmed that Ahmad Silla directed these insults to Imam Fati. He said, we want justice so that these insults and threats among Muslims in this country will stop. We want both of these, Imam Fati and Silla, to be prosecuted. For that we will stand in front of justice. No one is equal before the law. Abu Bakr Jabi, who is the spokesperson of the group, Islamic group, however, described the police arrest as not civil at all, explaining that 2 trucks loaded with paramilitary officers came to arrest just only one person as if it was a criminal case. According to him, 2 CID officers went to arrest Ahmad Silla, and when they got there, they told him, now we come to arrest you, but we have to wait for our motorcycle, but our colleagues are coming to pick up to Mansakongo police station. He went on explaining that when one of these groups called Sunni member were named Aliou Fati, insulted our leader, new Supreme Islamic Council's leader, Serif Nano Haidara, with very, very nasty words, and we took the matter to Brusubi police station. But we saw more than 100 youths coming to support that man. They told the police, if you detain this boy here, tonight we will burn the police station. And they released him, Mr. Jabi said. And up to this moment, we want that case to be in court so that we will stand in front of a magistrate for them to give us our rights, he said. Berewuleng Development Association in Brikama Suba Ward and Sayonding Development Committee in Busumbala Ward Saturday embarked on rehabilitation of feeder roads within their communities ahead of this year's rainy season. Most of the roads in the areas are barely accessible during the rainy season, which affects daily activities of the people, including access to markets. At Brikama Berewuleng, 7 feeder roads are targeted to be rehabilitated in partnership with the Brikama Area Council, who provided fuel and heavy equipment for the work. Secretary General of Berewuleng Development Association, Buba Jallo, said they are giving back to the community to address a complex situation they always encounter during the rainy season. This is one of the 7 roads we targeted to rehabilitate with intention of expanding, Mr. Jallo said. At the start of this project, on Saturday, the Councillor of the Ward and the Vice Chairman of Brikama Area Council, Ismaila Jallo, said the initiative was partially fulfillment of his campaign promise, saying his ward is well organized to do the work with the support of the partnership. Chief Executive Officer of Brikama Area Council, Modu Jonga, said the initiative was timely, saying it is part of the council's strategic objectives. We expect that in the end, most of the feeder roads will be accessible. Our intervention in Suba Ward will be one of the 7 interventions across majority of the roads in the region. At separate operations, Busumbala, Sajonding, 6 roads are targeted to be rehabilitated. This one also comes with 200 trips of gravel and fuel support for the Brikama Area Council through the Ward Councillor. The chairman of Brikama Village Development Committee, Alhaji Sajo Dabo, said the 6 roads they targeted to rehabilitate under the initiative are hardly accessible during rainy season. He appealed to members of the community to actively participate in the rehabilitation work. Public Relations Officer Lamin Sanyang said they had been facing serious problems of accessing the highways during rainy season because of the dilapidated conditions of the feeder roads. Usumbala Ward Lady Council, Abi Bangura, commended the community of Sajonding for uniting together to address a common obstacle they are facing. COVID-19 food distribution package. Since last week, thousands of needy families assembled at various distribution points of centers of around the country to collect their food package from the government. On Monday, May 29, Brikama Sinchu Madado in Central Region, Rowa Liver Fuladu West District also received what they described as a timely gesture from the government as COVID-19 food support. The Qataris philanthropics donate food items to Sankandi and the surrounding villages. Sankandi in Lower River Region, Kiang West District, and its surrounding villages had benefited from a Qatari philanthropic food item donation through Aliu Manjang, a Gambian based in Qatar responsible to response to coronavirus pandemic. The distribution of the donated items, which included 100 bags of sugar rice, 25 kilo rice, 35 gallons of 5-liter cooking oil, with supervised by Ansumana Kinte and implemented by the Sankandi Village Development Committee. 68 needed families in Sankandi benefited from the donation. 6 families in Kolikunda benefited, 6 families in Keneba, 1 family in Gifaron, 3 in Bajana, 1 in Kalaji, and 13 in Sintet village. The Alcalo for Bakari Davo thanked the donor, Qatari sister, through Aliu Manjang. Supervisor of the program, Ansumana Kinte, thanked the sponsors, describing the gesture as timely as it come just 2 days before the Muslims' feast of Eid al-Fitr. Nigerian military company supports 4 families with over 50,000. On May 29, 2020, a Nigerian military company, Nikoi 4, of the ECOWAS military intervention in the Gambia, ECOMIC, has assisted Yundum Barak Upper Basic School and Fajara Barak Nursery School and installed an overhead water tank and provided preventives of vulnerable communities affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Kabafita United Diaspora Association donates 228 bags of rice to residents. On the 27th, 2020, the Kabafita United Diaspora Association, KUDA, in collaboration with Kabafita Village Development Committee, last Thursday presented 228 bags of 25 kg rice to various households at Kabafita at a ceremony held at the kindergarten waiting side. GNIC donates $280,000 to Basse Area Council for fire victims. On the same 27th, 2020, Gambia National Insurance Company called GNIC has shared a check of $280,000 between one of its customers who was a victim of the Basse Market fire disaster. Because Basse Area Council, for its post-COVID-19 campaign and Basse Market fire disaster victims. GAM Jobs launches SMS Job Alert service in response to COVID-19 pandemic. GAM Jobs, in collaboration with UNDP, the Gambia Accelerator Lab, has introduced an SMS service targeting job seekers and employees geared towards increasing public access to job information. The death of George Floyd by the American Law Enforcement Agency. A black man was killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States, during an arrest. Derek Chauvin, a white police officer, kept his knee on the side of Floyd's neck for almost 9 minutes, while Floyd was handcuffed and lying face down. Some analysts said that what does President Xi Jinping speaks at the World Health Assembly means for China and the world? What does it mean for China and the world? It says Xi Jinping delivered an important speech at the World Health Assembly, making key policy statements of how China has planned to engage with the rest of the world post-COVID-19 and how China would preserve, protect, and promote multilateralism and the fruits of globalization by leading global cooperation to combat COVID-19 through a number of practical short and long-term measures. President Xi Jinping reiterated the people's first approach which China applied when COVID-19 virus first struck the country, signifying a more humanitarian approach that gives precedence to protect and serve lives over the economy. This is all we have for you this edition on Boulundala Radio and Television Online. I am your presenter, Suleiman Baji. I thank you for watching.